Hey y'all, I am Adam McCoy.
And I'm Lucas Schuyler Scott.
And welcome to Slim Pickins, the show where we explore and teach y'all low-budget filmmaking techniques.
In this week's episode, we're going to be using this $50 Amazon Steadicam, and we're going to be comparing it to the results that we got when we did our DIY Steadicam, made out of a plank of wood and a handful of metal piping. So you saw the last one, now check out this short and the results that we got with this Steadicam.
I know, man. Like I've never seen cars move that way.
Bro, that movie had like everything, explosions and
I know,
everything.
it's crazy.
Shotgun!
Fine. You win.
And we are back. It was a lot of work to film. I fell on the concrete so many times.
It was a lot of work for you to film.
Yeah.
For me, I was just mostly like fully focused.
Right,
you know?
exactly, yeah. Using the Steadicam.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good time. We had a lot of use the Steadicam, a good chunk of that. And so tell us how you feel about using that Steadicam.
This is my first, when I walked up and saw it, I kind of laughed to myself, and I thought there's no way that my camera with the 16 to 35 lens, because these lenses, they tend to, but there's a lot of elements, they're big lenses. There's no way that this little thing's gonna do. It won't be heavy enough. It won't be heavy enough with all the weights. And it turned out to be the opposite, actually, totally opposite. I can tell you right now, just by like holding it, it's a simple design, but it's smooth. You can feel that it's smooth, and it works really well. Really, for $50, I'm really impressed actually, because we were talking about it, and like the other one cost about the same, but
yeah, it was about between $35 and $40 including tax. So it was only about a $10 to $15 difference
on the cash,
right?
But the time and having to figure it out, and then also. It didn't have a quick release plate on the other one, or adjustable weights, or any of this stuff. So,
right, or that handle.
Or this sweet, yeah, there wasn't actually the 3-axis here. You just had like a metal pipe.
Yeah.
You feel like Mario, the film producer, running around. So this is definitely an upgrade. This is definitely an upgrade for sure. One thing I can say is this is a lot lighter than the other one, and so I kind of liked the heaviness of the other Steadicam. It really added a lot to the stability of it.
Okay.
I mean, this shot was very smooth too, but the weight of the other one just made it a little bit smoother, it felt like. But obviously, if you had to ask which one, just go with this one. Don't build it yourself out of a piece of wood that you dig out of the trash and then knock on my door asking for a screw gun. And we actually got a bunch of the shots that you saw in the video on this bad boy. Mm-hmm. Some of the shots, just full disclosure, some of the shots I do handheld, just depending on the kind of motion that I'm trying to go for. I just feel like I have a better grip on the camera. But for all the tracking stuff, all those motions, it was Steadicam. This is Neewer.
Yeah.
Steadicam by
That's
Neewer.
actually a little tip that I think we could give them is just because you have the gear doesn't mean you have to force yourself to use the gear to get the shot.
Yep.
To get some of those quick action shots that Lucas got, he went handheld, and that allows you to really get that quick, tight movement that you couldn't get using a Steadicam or using many other rigs or like a gimbal or anything like that. So every piece of equipment has its uses and it has its place in production. So if you feel like, man, I need to go handheld with this, and you're like, but I've got this gimbal and I've got this, just go handheld. It's all right. It's totally cool.
It's all about what's going to get you the best results and what you're comfortable doing. Because I can't tell you how many times, especially when I first started out, I wanted to use a new fancy piece of equipment on a shoot, maybe to impress a client or just because I wanted to try it, and it wound up complicating the whole thing for me and making it into a bad experience.
Right.
So it's like, use the tools when appropriate, and also operate at your level of experience. Because if you put a Steadicam into someone's hands and you're like, okay, here, balance this. I'm sorry.
Right.
But anyway, it was amazing. It was a fun experience. I would recommend it. I would definitely check it out. There's there's really expensive ones out there for $50. I just don't know that you can beat that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one thing. A lot of the handheld Steadicams out there, they'll have an adjustment knob to move, this plane left to right and forward to back. This one doesn't have that. This has the one you can open it up and move this left to right. But for the forward and back motion, what they did is they just kind of gave you a really long release plate so you can mount it on a different spot on your camera and use that for the forward and back motion. So that's the one caveat there, and and it's just kind of like a light cam.
Right.
Light cam. You wouldn't put a red on this.
No.
Maybe
no,
we should get a red and put. Do you have a red and you want to see it on this thing? If you send it to us, we promise you'll never see it again. Wait. No. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed viewing that content as much as we enjoyed filming and producing it. We love film production, and we love sharing our ideas and our visions with our audiences.
Totally.
So definitely stay tuned. Like, subscribe, all the stuff, all the fun things.
Subscribe to his channel. Link is on his face. Check out our latest episode, and then all of the links to all of the gear that pretty much most of the gear at least that we use in the shoot is in the description below. So if you want to invest in your own $50 Neewer Steadicam, you can in the description below. And thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, we will see y'all later.
Slim Pickins out.